In this video, we are going to discuss on a topic called computation of areas. What is this computation of areas means? So we have discussed in previous class that when you plot any survey land, that the land does not fit to our simple figures, and the simple figures which we come across in a daily life are a rectangle, right? And we also got square, or a triangle, or a trapezium. These are the simple closed figures which we got the formulas, and in order to calculate the areas of these simple figures, and if you know the length and breadth, the area represented with A is given by n times breadth. And for the square, if we have the S as the side, all sides are equal in the square, so this will become S square. And area for the triangle is given by, and if you know the base small b, and if you have h as the height, then this is given by half base into height. And you also got another formula. So if you know this side, this as A, we say this as side A and this is side B, then area can be said as S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C whole under root. Now what is this S? S is nothing but A plus B plus C by 2. And if you happen to know two sides, if you know two sides A and B, and if you know the angle between them, let me say that as C, then area is given by half AB into sine C. You also have this equation, right? And trapezium, we know half h into A plus B. Area is given by half h into A plus B. What is this A plus B? A and B are the parallel sides, lengths of the trapezium, and the h could be the height of these parallel sides, where you have denoted with A and B. So these are the known values of closed figures which we know. Now our objective is to find out the area of the survey land of different shape. So you never come across a simple figure shape. For example, if I take a survey land looking something like this, now that is how the survey land is now. Now you are supposed to calculate the area of it. Now what we can do is we have to divide that area into any of these simple closed figures, so that we can apply the equations and we could evaluate the area of it. So this entire unit consists of computation of area, and we could subsequently learn how to do this. So the answer to this question is you may have to find out the line, joining some of the vertices, maybe perhaps, then you have to do, you have to calculate, there is no other way. Then you could able to do, if you have the chance to draw a perpendicular, you have to draw a perpendicular. This is a perpendicular line and this is a perpendicular line. Now this could be a triangle. Now this could be a triangle, right? Now this could be another triangle. Now this could be another triangle. Now 1, 2 and 3. This could be a triangle. 4. This could be triangle 5. And this could be a trapezium. These both have parallel sides, and if you know the height, then you can apply this formula. So the summation of triangle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and trapezium, you can find out the total area of this circle. Fine, so let us start now and let us do a few problems, and we will discuss it how to do it. Okay? Let us do our first problem. A piece of ground has 3 straight lines. A piece of ground has 3 straight sides, AB, BC and CD. The fourth AD is irregular. The dimensions are AB 146 meters, BC 191 meters, CD 135 meters, AD 240 meters and AC 252 meters. Now let us write down the given data. Given data is AB as 126 meters, BC as 191 meters, CD as 135 meters, AD as 240 meters and AC as 252 meters. Offsets outwards from AD to irregular boundary have values of 0, 3.6, 1.1, 5.6 and 0. A chain is at 0, 45, 99, 135 and 140 from A. He said for the side AD, offsets are taken. For this side, offsets are taken at irregular interval. And if this is the situation, we calculate the area within the boundary in hectares. In hectares, right? So you should know what is 1 hectare means. 1 hectare is 10 power 4 square meter. Okay. So the diagram looks something like this. You got AB and you got BC. Then you have CD, right? Then I've got this thing. Then the irregular boundary started. Then he said he got 3 offsets. Fine. So this is AB. This is C and this is D and this is how the diagram was given and it was clearly explained in the question. So you need to suppose to calculate the area of it. So when you know the values of the lengths, it's pretty much simple in calculations part. Okay. So we know that AB is of 146 meter length and BC is of 191 meters length and CD is 135 meters length, AD is 240 meters length, right, and AC is of 252 meters length. And we also got offsets there, and this is 5.6 meter offset. For offset is nothing but a perpendicular line length taken from the survey line is called as an offset. So there is an offset 5.6 meter of length, and this is 1.1 meter length, and this is 3.6 meter length. And he said these offsets are from A, and the distances are, this is 0, this is 45, this is 99, okay, and this is 135, and 240 is the total length, okay. Now all that you need to do is identify them, divide it into, simple closed figures and corner equals a single. You just need to add them up, right? So let us say this has figure 1, this has figure 2, this has 3, this has 4, this has 5, and this has figure 6. So area of figure 1, it is a triangle and we know 3 sides of it. We have discussed, we can substitute the area as S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C under root, where S is A plus B plus C by 2, where we got A, B, C values as 191 plus 252 plus 146 by 2, okay, and this will give you a value of 284.5 meters. And if you back substitute there above, then you will get a value of 11706 square meters. And similarly, area of figure 2 can be calculated using same formula. Again, we got here 3 sides, we know the 3 lengths, so we can use the same equation S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. So where S is A plus B plus C by 2, 135 plus 252 plus 240 divided by 2. Calculate the S value, back substitute here, A, B, C values are here. Now similarly, area of figure 3. Now if we closely observe figure 3, now you can use half base into height equation, because we know the length of this and we know the height of this triangle. So half into base into height. So half into, how much is the base? This is the base. So if you can take this as base, you can take it. That's not an issue. All you need to multiply it and divide it by half. So from here to here is 240, and from here to here is 135. So the balance could be 240 minus 135. I repeat, from AD total is 240 meters, and from here to here is 135. So balance would be 240 minus 135, and multiplied with 5.6, you will get the area of figure 3. Next, area of figure 4 is a trapezium. A trapezium area is given by half base into height. Half h into a plus b, and half h into a plus b. Now half, this height is given by 135 minus 99. So this is here to here is 135, here to here is 99. So from 135, if you deduct 99, you would get the height. So 135 minus 99 into A plus B. This is 5.6 and this is 1.9. So add them up. Calculate the value of figure 4. And similarly, you can do for figure 5, right? Okay, just you need to change the values, and area of figure 6, you can calculate same as figure 3. Okay, so if you add them up, then you should be able to calculate the area of the figure. So if you are given with the dimensions, then you can divide it into simple figures and you can calculate the area. What if the coordinates are given? Like, for example, in the same area which you are seeing in this figure, and you have scale axis here, x and y axis. And you can calculate the coordinates of all these points. Fine. So these are all coordinates. And if I give these coordinates to you, then how could you able to estimate the area? So this is how we need to calculate. So let us do one problem based on it, right? So the problem says the adjusted coordinates of the successive points of a closed 5-sided traverse are given. You are given with x coordinates. X coordinate as 1008, 1078, 1136, 562 and 308. And you got y coordinates. These are units. All of them are in meters. 209, 1086, 1514 and 1082. So finally we have got the coordinates. So we are supposed to calculate the area if this is the situation. So we are supposed to calculate the area. So what we do is we will copy down the coordinates as usual. So without writing any x coordinate, and we will note down something like this. The x coordinates will be written. Write down. Then y coordinates you have to write down. After writing down the x and y coordinates, just draw these lines. Right? Every diagonal I have drawn a thick line, as you can see, and you have to draw a dotted line from the rest of them diagonally. Now after doing this, so area is given by half into modulus of summation of p minus summation of q. Now what is this summation of p is? So summation of p is nothing but the summation of multiplication of ordinates of these points, right? So summation of p is nothing but you have to multiply these thick line values and add them up. So this could be 1008 into 209 plus 1078 into 1086 plus 1136 into 1514 plus 562 into 1082. Now this will give you a value of 37093.9386. Then I've got summation of Q, which is nothing but you have to multiply these dotted lines and you have to add them up as with the first summation of Q. So this is 1078 into 2017 plus 1136 into 209 plus 562 into 1086 plus 308 into 1514. So this will give you a value of 3488394. Fine. So back substitute, you will get a area of half into modulus of 3709368 minus 3488394 will give you a value of 110487 meters. So if you want to convert that value into hectares, so this value can also be treated as, you need to divide by 10 power 4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 11.05 hectares. So if you are given with the coordinates, this is how we need to calculate the area. Sometimes more than the coordinates and also the dimension of the survey line, you are also given with latitudes and departures of the survey lines. So latitude, what are latitudes and what are departures of a survey line, we will be learning in unit number 3. So if you are supposed to give if you are supposed to estimate the area using latitude and departure, so here is one of the problem which I would like to share with you all. The following table gives the corrected latitudes and departures in meters of the sites of a closed traverse PQRS. There are 4 sites PQ, QR, RS and SP, and the latitudes, north, south and departures are given to you. So how do we do it is, we gonna put it down in a tabular form. This is the site, and we have the latitudes here, we have departures here. So he said a survey of PQ, QR and RS and SP. These are the sites of the traverse survey, closed traverse survey. And so we got latitudes and departures. Latitude is normally taken on north and south scale, and the departures are taken on east and west scale. So again we have a bifurcated boxes in latitude, and so in departures also we have north, south and east, west. So we get the value here is 148, here is 15, and here is 143, here is 0. This is 9, 258, 9 and 276. This is west, this is east, this is north and this is south. So you have to recall, because not all the north and not all of the south are having positive values. So if you recall the compass survey we had discussed, this is north and this is south, right? So this could be east and this could be west. Fine. Now if this is positive and this is positive, this is negative and this is negative, so do the same dimensions, so do the same sign convention which we need to follow for latitudes and departures. So north is positive, south is negative, east is again positive, west is again negative. Now these values should be, this value and this value should be considered as negative values when you are noting down. But if you don't want to put a negative value, all that you need to do is put a west departure towards west. You have to write it in words. So that makes an understand statement saying that the value of the departure is negative. So fine. Now we use a method called double meridian departure method. Now what is this double meridian departure method is all about? So we just need to copy the tabular form. So we have columns called latitude. So first column is sine, the latitude, then we got departure, then we got double meridian departure, then we have to multiply the double meridian with the latitude if I denote departure as D. So copy the first three columns from the given data. Now we have got PQ, QR, RS and SP as my sites. Fine. Now after noting down the sites of the closest travels, the latitudes are given to you. This is given as 128 and this is given as 15. RS is minus 143 and this is 0. And the departures are given as 9, 258, this is 9 and this is minus 2, 7 and 76. Double meridian departure is given as, if I want to calculate double meridian departure of QR, then it is given as double meridian departure of PQ plus departure of PQ plus departure of QR. So if I want to calculate QR double meridian, we just need to multiply this value, and this value. So you need to add these all of them. For the first case, the double meridian could be the same. So this value is given by 9 plus 258. And this value comes to be 276. Now this value is given by 276 plus 258 plus 9. So you just need to add these three values. And this value is estimated as 543. This value is given by 543 plus 9 minus 276. So this is the triangle. And this value comes to be 276. So if this is the M values, these are the double meridian departure values. You just need to multiply these double meridian departure values with the corresponding latitude. So 148 into 9 gives value of 1152. 276 plus 15 is given by 4140. 543 minus 143 is given by minus 77649 and 0 multiplied by this is given by 0. Now if you have got these values, now the area is given by summation of the products of double meridian departure values and the corresponding latitudes modulus of, so which is again multiplied by half. So summation of all these values you can calculate as minus 2 72357 modulus into half, and this value is given by 36178.5 square meters. So in the next class we will discuss how to calculate or how to estimate the area using trapezoidal method, mid-ordinate method, mid-ordinate method. Simpson's law.